Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. I learned through experience that there is one thing that will quiet us down, and it is shh. What a great evening. I can feel it already in the air. And good evening to all of you, friends of ANU, the Museum of the Jewish People. My name is Shula Bahat, and I'm the CEO of ANU, Museum of the Jewish People in America. Thank you. I'm a member of a small team, both in Israel and the United States, and we are trying to accomplish major missions, and so we'll hear about it later on from my colleagues. Really, this is such a special gathering. What a diverse group of leaders from all over the world, especially from Greece, Israel, and the US. People who are enlightened and enlightening. People who want to defy the darkness that challenges our world these days, and want to present the best that humanity can offer. It is an honor for us to host you tonight, and what it promises to be is something very, very moving. It is my great pleasure to introduce you to Irina Nevzlin. For the past 12 years, Irina has served as the chair of the board of ANU, Museum of the Jewish People. By the way, who was at ANU, Museum of the Jewish People? Just raise your hand. Great. And those of you who have not been probably would want to go after you hear Irina. She built and led the leadership team and drove a major transformation, repositioning ANU as a forward-looking cultural institution. Throughout her work, she has translated vision into action. Under her leadership, ANU has presented Jewish life with confidence and modest pride, moving beyond narratives defined solely by trauma. Irina's thinking on identity is reflected in her best-selling book, Rooted: The Hidden Connection Between Cultural Heritage and Success. Translated into several languages, she is also inspired by Theodor Herzl's belief in the power of the ideas to shape the future. Beyond ANU, she is president of the Nadav Foundation and founder and chair of Improvate, a business platform that helps Israeli technological innovations access global markets and work with governments worldwide. Without further ado, please welcome Irina.
Sorry, guys, I didn't realize the walk will be so long. Okay. Who is eating? Stop eating. No, because I'm hungry too, so you know. Ladies and gentlemen, dear friends, it's amazing to be with you here tonight, especially considering how challenging the times that we live in. We live in the times of uncertainty, of instability. We wake up to horrible events. Just yesterday in Australia, 15 Jews died for being Jews. Today, I was just told today on the subway, Orthodox Jews, just for the fact that they're Jews. And it was never easy to be Jewish, but I think it especially feels really hard to be Jewish now. And it's hard here, and it's hard everywhere in the world, and it's also hard in Israel. In my view, and I'm saying that not because Mr. Burle is here with us, but in my view, anti-Semitism is a disease, is a deep chronic disease. Sometimes it fades, and sometimes it flares up. And it flares up stronger, more visible, and more dangerous. What we're facing today is not only hatred. We're facing confusion, distortion of truth, and deep identity crisis. Therefore, I don't believe that our answer can be security or diplomacy. I think our answer is strong roots, sense of belonging, pride, knowledge, and connection. And this is exactly what we do here in ANO. I saw how many hands are here that were reason that were in the museum, but I did see those who didn't, and I remember. ANO is the place to visit for many reasons, but also because it's the largest Jewish museum in the world. What we do is we strengthen roots, not through fear, but through meaning, through culture, through history, and through connection. We feel that it's our responsibility to bring young people to us, to give them opportunity to feel the connection to their roots and the sense of belonging. We speak modern language. You will see in a minute, you will see a movie about the museum. You still have to visit anyway. It's a modern space, it's a technological space, and it's a contemporary space. We are risking now losing a whole generation, not only to anti-Semitism, but to disconnection, to emptiness, and to the world without roots. What we do in ANO, and what I hope to do everywhere in the world, is that we are offering a different path. Now, it's hard for me to even mention that, but we see extreme voices gaining power everywhere. We're in New York today, so guess where we do that? It actually happens through democratic elections. I believe people are confused about their identity, drawn into very distorted narratives. And so for that reason, ANO's mission of strengthening the identity and roots is more important than ever. The presence here of Greek community with us this evening and the memory of Thessaloniki is especially moving. The fact of rediscovering the Jewish life and Jewish heritage reminds me of a simple and profound truth. People try to erase Jewish identity. It can be suppressed. It can never be erased. We always find our way back because honestly, we never leave. It's profoundly moving for me to stand here. If you remember, about a year ago, exactly a year ago, we were together. It wasn't the same stage, but almost the same stage. And we prayed together for the return of 102 hostages from Hamas captivity. And today, through the strength of Jewish people and through the strength of Israeli society, we have all the hostages returned. We still have one fallen hostage, and we really hope that he'll be brought soon to his resting place so his family, who are amazing people, can find closure. It's not easy to do an event on Hanukkah. We had a lot of comments about that. It's not easy to do an event in December, but there is something beautiful about coming together in Hanukkah and lighting a candle together. And this candle is for courage, and this candle reminds us that even a small light can push back a really great darkness. So that identity for me, Jewish identity is light, memory is light, and community and being together with you and is light. In ANO, we choose to be that light for Jewish communities around the world, and most of all for the next generation. So thank you very much for being with us here, for being partners on this journey. Please come and do more with us, and I'm really hoping that we're going to have a great evening. Thank you. And now, I was given a very special role. I never ever introduce people because I'm afraid to mix their titles. But this guy is a mensch, and I took it on myself to do it all right. So I'm here to introduce Andrew Tisch. He is my partner in crime on many levels. First of all, he's a co-chair of ANO's Board of Trustees. From here on, I'm giving you some of the titles, not all of them, but what I want to say first, for those who don't know him, he's a mensch. That's the most important. Andrew is a co-chairman of the board and chairman of the executive committee of Lewis Corporation. He's a graduate of Cornell and holds many, many, many titles there. Please forgive me, otherwise I'll just mix. He's also vice chair of the New York Historical Society and serves as a vice chairman of U.S. Global Leadership Coalition. And there are many, many, many others. He's a well-known businessman, philanthropist, and a dear, passionate friend of ANO. Together with his wife, they established an Anne and Andrew Tisch Center for Jewish Dialogue, a place that enables us to address the challenges facing world Jewry through conversations, conferences, and actions. And more importantly, for me, he's my dear friend. Please welcome Andrew.
Thank you, Irina, and thank you. You've been a great friend and a great partner in the initiatives that we've started, and I look forward to working with you ongoing. Now, while Israel has endured so much since October 2007, it has also begun to regain its resilience. ANO, the Museum of the Jewish People, is moving forward as fast as possible. It celebrates our unity and our diversity. It recognizes our differences, and it celebrates the universality of the Jewish people. As the Israeli recovery from the post-2007 trauma, ANO is becoming more and more important in helping to set the agenda and be part of the work done by Israel, the United States, and Russia. Damn papers. We are excited for our future and for Israel and for the Jewish community around the world. ANO is getting more and more engaged and more involved in so much. There are still storm clouds on the horizon, and we have seen this past week the reminder of the virulence and atrocities led by anti-Semitism in Australia and in Providence. But ANO is more prepared for the future because of the work that we are doing in Israel at ANO and the work that's being done here by all of you. I thank you all very much for being part of this. Thank you.
You are about to embark on a journey through the unique and ongoing story of the Jewish people, its past and present, its struggles, resilience, and its hopes for the future. You will witness our contribution as a people to the foundation of Western civilization, as well as the historic accomplishments of Jewish individuals around the world.
The museum consists of 4 wings spanning 3 floors. This wing is dedicated to the vibrant and rich life of the Jewish people today. It highlights Jewish contribution to arts and culture, including theater, dance, music, cinema, folklore, and of course humor. The Hebrew language and modern literature, the tapestry of Jewish denominations, and the contribution of Jews to humanity. On this wing, we encounter the unique and ongoing story of the Jewish people, beginning in antiquity and extending to our times. The Jewish story, spanning thousands of years, includes periods of prosperity, thriving, and cultural dialogue, as well as times of oppression and persecution. It culminates with the resurrection of the Jewish people after the Holocaust, the establishment of the State of Israel, and varied Jewish communities throughout the world. This wing presents the conceptual foundations that are the backbone of Jewish existence: Shabbat, the covenant, the yearly cycle, individual life cycle milestones, and a section dedicated to the Bible and its influence on world culture, especially as it relates to concepts of justice and liberty, the Ten Commandments, as well as the ubiquity of the Bible in our language, folklore, art, and culture. This wing focuses on the evolution of the synagogue as an institution, beginning with the Temple in Jerusalem through to the present. Specially selected artifacts help tell the story, and a dedicated interactive invites visitors to take a journey through the world of Jewish liturgical music, piyutim, performed by artists such as Barbra Streisand and Leonard Cohen.
As the story continues, at Anu, we never rest. Since opening in 2021, we've grown and evolved, adding rare treasures like Codex Sasson, the oldest and most complete Hebrew Bible.
The history of the Codex is fascinating by itself, and it encapsulates a significant part of the Jewish story.
Amazing. It is beyond my imagination. Well, this is a real treasure for the Jewish people.
For me to be able to facilitate the return of the Tanakh to Israel was a great joy.
The newly gifted 1,500-year-old Samaritan Decalogue tablet is a testimony to Judaism's impact. On display currently, there are two extraordinary exhibitions. 2020, A Lens of Her Own, brings together 20 pioneering Jewish women photographers from the early 1900s with 20 outstanding contemporary photographers from the world over. It's a powerful artistic dialogue telling their Jewish stories and demonstrating how creativity, courage, and vision transcend generations.
Dorothy had an expression which was making order out of chaos. And this is something that I use all the time in photography, this idea of being behind the camera and making order out of a chaotic world to mean something. One of the most important things that we shared, especially vis-a-vis this exhibition, is we're both Jewish and we're wandering Jews.
October 7 was born out of tragedy. It captures Israeli creativity after that dark day, reflecting our pain, courage, resolve, and determination as people.
Together, all our exhibitions tell one story, that even in times of challenge, the Jewish spirit continues to shine.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome again this evening. And after this wonderful video, we encourage all of you to come. Those who've been there, come back. Those who haven't, come for the first time and just be awed and overwhelmed. But at this moment, we would like to pause to honor the memory of our beloved friend, Stephen M. Greenberg. Steve was very proud of his lifelong engagement with Anu. We are truly, truly thankful to him. He was devoted to its American Friends, having served as a member of the museum's board of directors, its international board of directors, and the international board of trustees, as well as being the president and treasurer of the American Friends. We always look to him for great leadership in every situation. Steve's leadership, wisdom, courage, intellect, integrity, and dedication were a source of inspiration to all of us who worked with him, both as lay leaders and as professionals. Steve's commitment to Beit HaTfutzot, which is now called ANU, was a reflection of his profound love for the state of Israel and for Am Yisrael, the people of Israel, and the people of Israel worldwide. In recognition, Steve was awarded the museum's Medal of Honor in 2007. His involvement in Jewish organizational life in the United States and abroad was deeply inspiring. That's why we were so lucky to have him with us. He was a leading figure in Israel diaspora relations. He spearheaded the Moriah Conference, the Israel Forum, and the North American Jewish Forum. His leadership and the National Council of Soviet Jewry helped save thousands of Jews from the Soviet Union who emigrated to Israel. His many leadership roles in Jewish organizations led to his becoming the chair of the Conference of Presidents of major Jewish organizations. He left an indelible legacy for us all and large footsteps to follow. If all of this were not enough, Steve was also a giant in the legal profession with a distinguished career spanning decades in public service, private practice, and corporate leadership. Most importantly, I think, Steve's dedication to his family. His family is here tonight, his wonderful wife, Sandy, his children, Sophie, Jeffrey, Seth, Lisa, and Scott, and his grandchildren, Max and Dory, was unparalleled. We thank you, family, for sharing Steve with us. We took a lot of his time, and we're privileged to know him, and we were grateful for the many years of leadership and friendship that were bestowed upon us, and we will always remember his years with us. We'd like to conclude with a poem by Chana Senesh, who might capture some of the feelings that we have. There are stars up above whose light continues to shine so far away, long after the star is gone. And so it is with people that we love. Their memories keep shining ever so brightly. Though their time with us is done, the stars that line the darkest night continue to guide us. As we live our days, they illuminate our path. And Steve will continue to illuminate our path. Please, let's give one moment to honor Steve's memory and to all of those who have left us since October 7th. Thank you. And I would like to introduce our CEO, Oded Revivi, who you saw first in the video. He has been the CEO of ANU since December 1st, 2024. A lawyer by profession, Oded was a mayor of the city of Efrat for 16 years. Those of you who have been to visit always had an opportunity to meet with him and saw the amazing work that he accomplished in Efrat. He serves as an Aluf Mishneh or colonel in the Israeli army, and we would like to welcome Oded Revivi to the stage.
Thank you, Cheryl. quite a tough transition between raising the memory of Steve. Just last March, I had the privilege of meeting him in Palm Beach, where him and his beloved wife, Cindy, hosted me, to discover that I actually knew my father from the 1970s, which shows you what a small Jewish world we live in. But before I begin, please join me in giving a warm round of applause to two true super power girls, Shula and Gloria, that without whom this wonderful evening, this wonderful work wouldn't have been possible. My thanks as well to the chair of American Friends of Anu, who is sitting with his back to me, Daniel Pincus, but that's only because there was no other seat for him. And the co-chairs of our Board of Trustees, Mr. Andrew Tisch and Ms. Irina Nevzlin, whose leadership and inspiration mean so much to us. They deserve a big round of applause. And last but not least, thank you all for being here tonight. We don't take it for granted. We don't take it for granted your help, your support, being partners with us in this important mission. Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. Before I begin, allow me a brief note of caution. I've been informed that I have only 5 minutes to speak. But as an Israeli, we tend to view time limits not as a strict constraint, but rather as a friendly suggestion. Rest assured, I will aim to keep it under an hour. Arriving in New York, Shula is getting worried, just to see. It will get worse, Shula, I can promise you. Arriving in New York during the run-up to the festive season is always a remarkable experience. It's the only time of year when the city's lights almost rival the brilliance of Tel Aviv Dizengoff Center. Now, let me start with a quick survey. This question has been asked already twice tonight, but my options are different. If you have visited Anu, the Museum of the Jewish People, please raise your hand. If you haven't, please raise your credit cards. We'll go around and collect them. I try to be practical. And now on a more serious note. To be honest, if you would have asked me, I would have probably wouldn't have chosen to show you the film about the museum tonight. Why? Because Anu can't truly be conveyed in a short trailer. The reality goes far beyond storytelling. It is something that must be experienced. So after this evening, I ask each and every one of you to do 3 things. Number 1, visit the museum in person. Number 2, convince your friends to visit the museum. And number 3, help us bring more supporters into our growing family. Why is it so vital to support Anu, the Museum of the Jewish People? I hope by the time I finish, you'll already know the answer. Are you still with me? Yeah, just checking. Okay. Let's dive in. I was asked to speak about the phrase "in those days, at this time." Bayamim ahem, bazman hazeh. Tonight, as we gathered, we celebrate Hanukkah. So let us reflect on its history, on its story. In those days, the Greeks sought to erase our identity, to strip the Jewish people of their faith, and to force us into Hellenization. They desecrated our holiest site and exiled our people from our land. That was in those days. But what about today, at this time? Tonight we're joined by esteemed representatives of the Greek government, Minister Adonis Georgiades, Greece Minister of Health. Thank you for being here. And Dr. Albert Bourla, CEO and Chairman of Pfizer. Both genuine friends of the State of Israel. Minister Georgiades will speak shortly in presence of my dear friend, a former Israeli minister, Israel Consulate General in New York, Ambassador Ophir Akunis, and will share with us how he values the State of Israel. And there's something you may not know. A small secret. As a colonel in the army, I can tell you that the IDF, the Israel Defense Force, trains in many countries around the world. But the country where we conduct more training than anywhere else outside of Israel is Greece. A very different reality from the one we knew thousands of years ago, and precisely the reason we celebrate Hanukkah. And Greece is not the only country that changed its position. The Jewish people have traveled far from Jerusalem to Warsaw, to Casablanca, to Baghdad, to Vilna, to Helsinki, and eventually to New York, and some came back to Israel. And wherever we went, we carried our story, our values, and our responsibility to one another. Just 2 weeks ago, a headline in Israel sent chills through me. 80 years ago, Germany declared a war of annihilation against Israel, against the Jewish people. 6 million Jews were murdered in the Holocaust. My grandfather lost his wife and 2 children. My grandmother lost her husband. After the war, they met, rebuilt their lives, and from that second marriage, my mother was born. My wife and I have 6 children. 2 of our sons are officers in Israel's Air Force, serving in the Arrow missile defense system. Wait for the punchline. The oldest of the 2 was the first officer in history to press the button to intercept Iranian missiles aimed at Israel. And what was the headline, you're asking? 80 years ago, after the Holocaust, the State of Israel sold the Arrow defense system to Germany. Israeli-made technology, designed and built in Israel, now stands on German soil, protecting Germany and its people. Ladies and gentlemen, this is precisely the story ANU tells. At ANU, we highlight our resilience, our creativity, and the pride we should take in our history and identity. In today's fragile world, marked by instability, pandemics, missiles from Iran and Yemen, rising anti-Semitism, terror attacks, and deep political uncertainty, we need anchors. Anchors of stability, anchors of pride, anchors of identity and belonging. And a compass to guide us forward. That is what we do in ANU, Museum of the Jewish People. We provide that compass. At ANU, every individual, every visitor has the opportunity to recognize themselves in our shared story, discover their roots, to see themselves as part of a long and extraordinary chain, and leave with a deeper sense of belonging and responsibility to understand that Jewish history did not end with a tragedy, it continues in responsibility. And we need a compass, one that reminds our grandchildren, and I'm so happy to see that there are 2 kids here, you're our future. We need to have more of you around in this room. that remind our grandchildren not only what happened to us, but who we are. That is what Anu, Museum of the Jewish People, provides. So tonight, I ask you not just to support a museum. I ask you to safeguard a story, a legacy, a bridge between generations. I ask you to help ensure that the Jewish story you inherited and protected will be carried forward with confidence and pride. Because when we light the candles of Hanukkah, we're not only remembering a miracle that happened in those days, we're living the miracle at this time. And as long as we continue to tell our story together, we will always be able to say, in those days and in ours, Am Israel Chai. See you all in the museum. That was my 5 minutes. Now what Shula asked me to say. In a minute, we're going to light the Hanukkah lights. We've got a very special menorah, the Statue of Liberty Chanukiah, which we're lightening tonight, represents the vision of the artist Manfred Anson, who was rescued from the Holocaust by the Australian Jewish community and immigrant to the US. A beautiful brass version of this Chanukiah is on permanent display at Anu in the American section in the Journey Wing. Another version of this Chanukiah is actually in the White House and was lit a few years ago by President Obama. It was gifted to Anu by the noted Dr. Aaron Feingold, former president and currently a member of the American Friends of Board. I call on Dr. Feingold to light the candles, and may his light shine forever. Thank you very much.
Beautiful. So now we are going to say the blessings in the Greek Jewish language of Ladino, which is the language of my own family with Greek Jewish heritage. Bendicho tu Adonai nuestro Dios, Rey del mundo, que nos santificó con sus encomendanzas y nos encomendó שוטו